And welcome to Whiskey Oval _ TV. Lanier National Speedway on this late Friday night. Got some dirt late model action. Practice session about to be up in just 10 seconds. And we'll be ready to rock and roll with heat race number 1. A lot of drivers entered in here tonight. This room is almost completely full. 31 drivers have entered in. Tyler Burrow, Matthew Selby, and Lane Smith. That's going to be your top 3 guys. So I verify some stuff here on my side. Looks like everything looks good. Sound volume is good. Mic volume is good. We're ready to rock and roll now. Long night of racing ahead of us with super dirt late models. So this is how the heat races are going to work. This heat race number 1, they got 11 drivers. They have entered in. The top 4 guys will be going straight to the Mac Daddy show, to the A-Main show. And they did not reset the racetrack whatsoever after their practice session, so this track is mighty slick already. All the way around this, almost a bull ring of a racetrack. But this is going to be heat race number 1, and this is how the grid is going to look. Tanner from the Plains, the 09 machine. He'll be there to the top spot. Desmond Bisbee with Dirt Racing, the 82 machine. He'll start there to the outside of Michael Wooden and Brandon Marlowe. That'll be your second row. Third row is going to be Matt George and Jason Salter. Lewick, out of the frozen country of Canada. He'll be starting P7. Bo with Cripps Family Racing, the 16A. You have Patrick Cobb, Bob Klein, and Kenneth D. Payne, all rounding out the race field. Should be a fun one. It always usually is with the Nevin McLean Racing Association. Lights on the pace truck is off this time by. Will be green flag racing next time by. Pace car is actually a car instead of the truck here. As they slowly work down the back chute, and they're going to get ready to wheel and deal, shimmy and shive all the way around this racetrack. Tanner's going to stand on the skinny pedal, and we're racing here for heat race number 1. And we already got one guy already piled up. Remember, there's no caution flags in these heat races. So breaking down the race field, it's all Tanner right now. Desmond is back there to P2. Michael's third spot, and Bo is rounding out the last and final transfer spot as Bo tries to get down to the inside of the number 18 machine as they wheel and deal down in turns 1 and 2. Coming out of turn 2 now, down the small back, shooting right back down into this. Back down into turns number 3. The guy on the outside looking in is Matt George. The number 23 machine, the all pink and black machine. Can he make it in as they are still side by side there in front of him inside the cockpit mode now? Matt needs 1 spot. That's all he needs to make his night a little bit easier. He tries to work the high side, a little bit of grip up there, but look at Lorick just go right around. 8 laps is the scheduled distance. And we're on lap 6 of 8 now. 1 minute and 19 seconds as a 74 machine. I believe that was Michael Wood and may have just tapped the outside wall. And we got a really good battle here for the last and final transfer spot. As these guys come across the race line, we have 2 laps to go now here at Lanier National Speedway. The number 18 machine of Michael Wood, and he is under attack right now by the number 74 machine. He's going to slide it up right in front of the nose. The 18 machine of Michael Wood tries to do the crossover as they take the white flag. 3 cars battle it out for the 3rd and 4th spot. For the final time down the back chute into turns 3 and 4, there is no qualifying. Random heat draws, and the checker flag is going to wave for Tanner. Desmond finishes P2. Lorick finishes 3rd, and Michael Wooden rounds out that last and final transfer spot. And here's going to be the final results up there on your race screen. And it really comes down to your heat draw here, too. Some guys are able to keep it going. Thank you all for tuning in here at Wisconville_TV, either Facebook, YouTube, and or Twitch. A little bit of race info up there on your race screen now. Lanier National Speedway, track lane 0.33 miles, temperature 76 degrees, just about the most perfect day you can possibly have here at a dirt track. Some super dirt late models. 11 drivers going to be making up this heat race. The exact same thing. The top 4 drivers will be advancing. James Braswell Jr., Talon Norco with Mid-South Mafia Sim Sports number 10 machine. They'll be your front row. Jared and Chance, you have Paul and Tyler, Daniel and Justin, Camden and Brendan. Then rounding out that last and final spot, got a little bit of work to do, but that's going to be Nathan Tripod there in the number 42 machine. We're stacked up, backed up, getting ready to rock and roll for heat race number 2. 11 drivers, top 4 cars will be advancing in. Green flag is going to wave, and we're off and racing once again. Down the back chute. Everybody trying to mind their own business, but look at this. Almost a rat's nest with a 35 machine. Just taps the outside wall. That was Tyler Burrow. Tyler, he was the fastest guy in a practice session, and right now he is swapping paint with the wall. He is swapping paint with some other cars, trying to get that outside line going. Just has nowhere to go in that VLR machine of his. Oh, no. 2-1-1. That was Daniel Mills. I thought he was just going to absolutely door him, but Tyler Burrow slowly making his way up front, trying to slice and dice through the race field. It's all James Braswell Jr. right now in that 009 machine as he works down the backstretch once again into turns 3 and 4. Nurko, he's going to try to run that cushion line, and we got one guy almost going upside down. So Burrow up into the last and final transfer spot now. Camden Johnston. Then the double deuce machine outside looking in with laps winding down. 3 laps to go. Outside shot of the race field now. These guys, this is for the battle for the race lead. Talon high side. James Braswell Jr. trying to work the bottom side. Braswell has not went up to the high side whatsoever. He's been dedicated down to the bottom side. He likes it down there, trying to get some giddy up and go. But right now, the number 10 machine just looks like he has a little bit more power outside. And then here comes Chance Carr coming out of nowhere with the white flag on a wave. For the final time around Lanier National Speedway here for Heat Race 2. Wheeling and dealing into turns 3 and 4. James still being, oh no! What Talon, he got loose. He spins it. Drag race to the finish line. And Norco went from leading the race coming out of 4 to finishing back in the 9th spot. A Mid-South Mafia driver. Tough break for the number 10 machine. Don't know exactly what happened to him. And that was it. Heat race 2. In the books, there's your final results just like that. Chance James and Camden with a late Christmas gift, early birthday present, whatever you want to call it. There you go. Max Drop Sim Sports driver. The Double Deuce machine, he goes up into the A main show. Tell the tape right now. Man, it's just all down to luck where you start at in these heat races. With no qualifying, it's a random heat race. Heat race starting position. It makes it tough. Definitely in these super late models, only 8 laps, top 4 drivers, and track is already pretty much slicked up. So we ride off the nose camera of James Clausen here in the 29 machine. And this is turns 3 and 4. Bottom side is flattened out. Remember, this is an asphalt track. A free content track as well. Outside lane though, giddy up and go. Get up there and let the motor sing. Here's going to be the starting grid for heat race number 3. It's going to look a little something like this. Real quick though, Josh and Matthew, you have Lane from the great state of Texas. Tyler Carter there in P4. Jason and Alan Geroneco, Flex Motorsports driver. James, Terrell, Wade, and Ryan Underwood rounding out the race field. And here we go. We're stacked up, packed up. The pace car is off. One guy already wrecking. The whole field is wrecking, and the yellow flag's going to wave. Replay of the caution is going to be, I don't know exactly what happened, but here we go. Kind of outside shot here, and the whole field just kind of went before the leaders went. So back to line mode, back to race mode. We're going to try this one more time. Green flag out. .46 machine and Matthew, he's going to pull the field down the back chute. Put that thing right up next to the outside wall. Josh Gooseland, he's going to get bumped up. They're 3 wide, 4 wide, and we have another massive wreck down the front chute. 3, 4, 5 cars in it. 2 guys flipped upside down. Josh is still trying to leave the park here, and the second yellow flag is going to wave. If you guys are having issues with the Facebook broadcast, you're more than welcome to go over to YouTube. Watching it on YouTube right now. Everything looks nice and steady over there on the YouTube platform. If you don't like YouTube, we'll go on over to Twitch. We're live there as well. 2 minutes and 24 seconds here in heat race number 3. And chaos has started. This is what it's going to look right here. Mid-South Mafia driver Josh. The Jula Speed Shop, one of the proud sponsors. And man, he just kind of washed up the racetrack. Oh, look at that shot there. Hold on to it now, kid. So the green flag has already dropped. Matthew's going to take the white flag. Heat race number 3, an absolute chaos of a race. But Ryan Underwood, the number 446 machine, he's the last driver to make it inside the hot seat right now. Going to go ahead and take the checker flag, and the top 4 drivers making it into the Mac Daddy. That's going to be Matthew, Tyler, James, and Ryan. It's go time for a lot of these drivers now. An 8-week season for Nevin McLean Racing Association Super Late Models. Week 1 is obviously here at the Lanier National Speedway. Then we jump on over to Knoxville Raceway. Then we go to Volusia. That's going to be your first 3 races. Lobby opens at 9:45 Central Time. That's 10:45 Eastern Time. Majula Speed Shop, a proud sponsor, as well as a Mid-South Mafia Sim Sports team. So the C-Main, these guys better get a move on to get up into the top 5. Bowen Wade, you have Jared and Jason, Allen and Nathan, Matt George and Josh Gooseland, Paul and Kenneth D. Payne. That's going to round out your 10 drivers for these guys. And man, if you're outside the top 5 right now, you better go. You better swap some paint. You better use your right rear if you got to. Whatever you got to do and get to the A-Main show. That's how I always look at it. For the 168 machine, a Bo. Going to start it off. Green flag's going to wait for him. Third spot is going to be Tyler. And look at this. Side by side, multiple rows deep. Almost a slight bit of 3-wide action. As everybody trying to fight to that high side, we have a couple guys trying to just paint it down to the inside wall. And one guy smashing the outside. That's going to be the 81 machine of Jarrett. On through the back now, Matt George, he's P7th. Kenneth D. Payne a little bit off the pace there in the number 100 machine. He'll need a little bit of luck there on his side. He may just get it. Josh back in 9th, and Nathan Tripod rounding out the race field as we take a look down the back, shooting into turns 3 and 4. Everybody still all sorts of wadded up, side by side, multiple rows deep as we have hit the halfway home. The mama signal this time by. Bo is going to lead this thing. He has led all 5 laps. Jason Salter, he has already moved up 2 spots in that number 104 machine, trying to run down the race leader. Last lap time's up there on your screen now. A 14.2 for the race leader. Jason Salter, the guy that's running in the 2nd spot, a little bit quicker. A 14.1 for him. Gap up there on your race screen now. Top 5 drivers advance right now. Alan Duranko rounding out that 5th spot, trying to get that 5th spot. Left rear tires up into the race air. 3 wide under a blanket for the last and final transfer spot. Alan, Jared, and Matt. Alan, he likes that bottom side. He can make that bottom side work. I've broadcasted a lot of races of that number 9 machine. And right now he is in it. But Jared Tannerhill, if he can get that motor up and singing, he may just have something to say for that last and final spot. White flag out to the race field this time by. Into turns 1 and 2. This is the blue car. That's Jarrett. That is Jarrett, the number 81 machine. Allen down to the bottom side for the final time. Into turns 3 and 4. This is your final transfer spot. Drag race to the line. And I do not know who got a little bit of contact coming to the race line right now. It shows Jarrett has that. And Allen outside of looking in. So Allen's Matt's, Kenneth, and a couple more guys. Kenneth, Josh, Nathan, Jared, and Allen. That's going to be your C-Main results. Man, a close race there to the end. As we're rolling out here for the B-Main now. These guys, the exact same story. You got to get when the getting is good. This racetrack, and they go so fast around it, you can click off lap times extremely, extremely quick. 10 laps is going to be the scheduled distance. Justin and Bob, that's going to be your front row with 2 teammates right next to each other with Hood Up Motorsports. Terrell and Brendan. You have Patrick Cobb and Lane Smith from the great state of Texas. Talon, Brandon, Jason, and Daniel. All rounding out the race field. Look at a shot down the back chute. Lights on the pace truck is off. These guys are ready to roll. Hopefully they just got the right setups in. Justin gonna stand all out pedal, trying to count down that time, that restart with his teammate there to the outside, and we're off and racing here for the B main. Top 5 drivers get to keep on racing. So far, so good. Second spot up for grabs right now. That is Bob Klein next to the outside wall, trying to diamond cut just a slight bit. The 51 machine of Terrell Payne. And you got to ask yourself just how hard do you want to race with your guys up inside the top 5 side by side like this. You guys are in the A main show. I mean, we're only on lap 3 though. Lane Smith, he's in the show, a Texan driver. Brendan Howell, he rounds out the last and final transfer spot, but it's anyone's race back here. We have a rat's nest. One guy about to get smashed into the to the inside wall. That was Patrick Cobb. And then Daniel Mills, they made a little bit of contact. So Brandon Marlowe now, the 37 machine, trying to make a name for himself for 399 Esports. And Brandon Marlowe find a little bit of a giddy up and go and get around Brendan Howell. Already halfway home now. Still on board with the last and final transfer spot. Brandon Marlowe kind of slipping back now. Those two guys in front of him, those are for 5th and 6th. Brandon's back in the 7th spot. Down the back chute and into turns 3 and 4 we go. 3 cars battling out for 1 spot. The top 4 kind of single filed out up there. So this is it. And Brandon Marlowe just got a 2-for-1 dinner deal. Was able to get around both of them now. Brandon Marlowe, can he hold on? 2 laps to go down the front stretch and into turns 1 and 2. That is Jason Moore all over his back bumper. Brandon gets a really good jump out of turn 2. And white flag is going to wave. Lap 10 of 10. And they're still beating and banging and swapping pain back here with Jason and Daniel. Both of those guys had it. Don't know exactly what happened, but Brandon Marlowe passed both of them all in one corner, and the checker flag is going to wave for Justin Toll, Terrell Payne, Bob Klein, Lane Smith. And then the 5th and final spot goes to Brandon Marlowe. Everybody else, their night is going to be done. As warm-up session is underway, we've seen it. We've seen 4 heat races, a C main and a B main. Just gotta get your setups all dialed in now. If you was one of those guys that transferred in from heat race number 1, this track has completely changed on you. As the track lights are still not on. Sun is setting for sure. It is definitely sunset. Not full-time night quite yet. Best lap time and their last lap time will be up there on your race screen right now. Tanner, the 09 machine, has a quick time with that 14.1, and Matthew just topped it in that 46 machine entry. 14.0 for Mr. Matthew there. Breakdown of the race so far, you got to be patient. Be patient and let the race come to you. It's definitely a 2-groove racetrack. You can work the bottom side or you can work the high side, but man, whatever side you work, you better set your car up for it. You gotta get the gearing just right as Bob Klein just cracks the top 10. If you set your car up for the high side and you get stuck down there on the bottom next to the inside wall, it could be a very tough night for you. Nevin McLean Racing Association. If you guys like to join this action, go check them out on Facebook. As 14 drivers now have made a practice lap. Looking through the Discord, pretty popular Discord here for the Nevin McLean Racing Association. Week number 1, this is Lanier, sorry. Then we go to Knoxville, Volusia, dirt track at Charlotte, Lima Land, Cedar Creek, Kokomo, and then good old Eldora rounding out the last and final race. That is April 15th. So we're going to race from February 25th all the way to April 15th and 16th. 2-night show there for Eldora. Proudly sponsored by Majulis Speed Shop and Mid-South Mafia Esports Team. They're doing a little bit of a weird restart here. Don't know exactly how it's going to work. We'll figure it out as we go. Matthew's still the fastest driver out there with a 14.082 as these guys still just work in this racetrack. They will not be resetting it. So whatever they working into, that's what they're going to get. 18 drivers have now made a warm-up lap around this place. A lot of guys went home. Should be a 5-minute warm-up session. Racing is way underway. Racing season is already here and off to a hot start. Honestly, the Daytona 500 was last weekend, but the World of Outlaws, they've got a pretty good start. I think a little bit of rain delays hindered their start, as well as they moved down to the south. USAC non-wing, USAC midgets, the NHRA, they're up and blasting off. Indy cars are this weekend. You got IMSA, obviously the Rolex 24. IMSA will be rolling into Sebring International Speedway here soon. If you like that endurance style racing. The World Endurance Challenge, they're off as well, but man, they got some weird dates. Formula One testing, man, it's quite interesting to watch the Haas Formula One team. Ukulele or whatever the sponsor is, a Russian sponsor. As Formula One says, as of right now, they are not going to Russia. Will they change their mind later in their season? Maybe. I don't know. We only got about 8 seconds left here in the warm-up. Then we're off racing to the A main show as everybody's into the pits trying to get their last-minute changes in. And there it is. Warm-up is over. Checker flag is waving. These boys are ready to rock and roll now. Hopefully you guys are as well. Should be a fun night. Will be a long night.